Hello, and welcome to the Scrap Tire Annual Report Re-TRAC training. My name is Shannon Cohen-Denson, and I work in the Scrap Tire Unit of the Division of Materials and Waste Management at Ohio EPA. This is the first year that Ohio EPA has provided electronic reporting for scrap tire transporters and scrap tire facilities. The service was developed using the Re-TRAC Connect platform. We believe this will make it easier for you to submit the annual report, as you will not have to print, scan, and mail it to Ohio EPA. Another great feature is that you have access to an online record of all your annual reports from now on. The purpose of this training video is to show you how to access the Retrac system, complete the Scrap Tire Transporter Annual Report in Retrac, and complete the Scrap Tire Facility Annual Report in Retrac. For this training, I will need to use a few screens, so please expect short delays as I move from one screen to another. Okay, let's get started. To activate your Retrac account, you will receive an email from Retrac, support@retrac.com. The subject line of the email will read, "You are invited to join Ohio EPA Scrap Tire Annual Report in Retrac. Activate your account." The purpose of this email is to send you instructions on how to activate your account in Retrac. The content of this email is shown on the screen. When you click on the Activate button, it will take you to a screen that welcomes you to Retrac and requires you to establish a password. If the Activate button does not work, please cut and paste the link provided in the email into the address bar of your internet browser, which should take you to the Retrac welcome screen and allow you to establish a password. Once you've put in your password, please click on Create Account. It is important to note that the link will expire in 7 days. Therefore, when you go to activate your account, your link has expired, please contact me so that I can send you another Retrac invite. Okay, let's switch screens. When you have successfully logged into Retrac, this is the first screen you will see. This screen contains a list of the programs that you have joined. For most of you, the program that will be listed is Ohio EPA Scrap Tire Annual Report. This screen is called the home page. Click on the Ohio EPA Scrap Tire Annual Report tile. You will be sent to the Member screen. A list of the different scrap tire operations that you perform should be listed as members. If you transport scrap tires, there should be a member listed as a scrap tire transporter, identified by your business name and address. If you operate a scrap tire facility, there should be a member for that facility, as well as identified by your facility name and address. Here, 2 members are identified, one for a scrap tire transporter and one for a scrap tire facility. For training purposes, the annual report for each member will be used. We will start with the scrap tire transporter. Click on the arrow to the right of the scrap tire transporter member. This action takes you to the workspace where the Scrap Tire Transporter Annual Report is located. To open the Annual Report survey, click on the New box. As you go through the survey, you will find that it requests the same information that has been historically required in the paper form of the Scrap Tire Transporter Annual Report. Like the paper form, detailed instructions on how to complete each section of the Scrap Tire Transporter Annual Report is provided in the body of the survey. I will go through the annual reports, spending time focusing on providing general instructions and important points to aid you in navigating through each section of the electronic survey. In this process, I will cover how to save, delete, submit, and export the survey. The annual report is broken up into 3 pages that you will complete to submit the final report to Ohio EPA. The pages of the annual report are provided in the upper right-hand corner of the survey. On each page, there are fields marked with a red asterisk. These fields are required fields and will need to be filled out to be able to submit the survey to Ohio EPA. Page 1 includes sections A through E. Section A. This section contains a secondary ID field that is an orange box, and the entry field is grayed out. This field is for Ohio EPA to complete, and you can skip over it as you complete the report. Leaving this field grayed out does not affect your ability to save and submit your report. In Section B, we ask for business information for the transporting operation. Taken from the information provided in your registration application, the system has pre-populated the name of business, street address, city, state, and zip code. As you can see, based on the fact that the fields are marked with a red asterisk, you must complete contact name, title, telephone, and email. Section C. All fields in this section are marked with a red asterisk and therefore must be completed by the applicant. Awesome. Section D. In this section, you will identify all the scrap tires transported in the calendar year. This section requires you to report whether scrap tires were or were not transported during the calendar year. If scrap tires were not transported in the calendar year, select No. With this selection, you will be required to provide an explanation. If scrap tires were transported during the calendar year, select Yes. You are then required to select at least 1 unit of measurement that you used to measure the scrap tires that you hauled. If you choose volume, you are required to provide the typical number of scrap tires by type that fit a typical volume. For example, if you are accustomed to filling a 53-foot semi-truck trailer full of passenger and light truck tires, then you would provide the volume of the truck and the number of passenger tire equivalents that would meet that would fill that volume in these spaces here. Section E. The types of scrap tires hauled must add up to 100%. If the percentages provided for the tire types do not add up to 100% or exceed 100%, then the system will give an error message. The form is designed to round values less than 0.5 to 0. It is recommended that only whole numbers be used and not decimals. For example, if semi-truck tires account for 1.4% of the total scrap tires hauled, either account for the semi-truck tires by using 1% or 2% in this section. So let's play around a little bit here. I'm going to put 98% for passenger and light truck tires, 1.4% for semi-truck tires, and 0.3 for other tires. I'm below the 100%. Now, if I make this 2.6, I'm above the 100%. So we'll put in 2% for the semi-truck tires. And now it's happy. If you put information in for other tires, we'll put in 1%, then you're required to fill in the type of tires that you took. Let's see here. Say excavator tires. To not lose any of the information placed on this page, you must hit the Save function, which is always located at the bottom of the page. If you forgot to save and click to advance to the chosen page, I'm going to click page 2, the system will ask if you want to leave the site. It will also tell you at that time that changes you made may not be saved. If you click on Leave, you will advance to the chosen page, but lose any information that you placed in fields on that page. If you instead choose to save, any fields that have not been completed or any errors found on the page will light up, and the number of errors on the page will appear. So I'm going to choose to cancel. I'm going to hit Save, and it's saying, oh, I have one error. The system will allow you to go back and correct the page if you select Cancel, or you have the option of clicking on Save as Draft and proceed to the next page, and then click on Confirm, and that's what we'll do here. The system will advance you to the chosen page. It advanced me to page 2, and it saved any information that I had put in on page 1. A warning sign will appear at the top of the page explaining that the survey is currently in draft and contains errors. You can continue to save as draft until all errors have been resolved. The colored line under a page number indicates the completeness of the page. A white line means that the page contains no information and has not been saved. A gold line indicates that the page has been saved with missing information. And a green line indicates that the page has been saved with all required fields completed. Okay, Section F. Section F contains 3 tables where you quantify the whole or processed scrap tires that you picked up. The first table is called Total Quantity of Scrap Tires Picked Up in Counties in Ohio. Use this table to report all scrap tires hauled from each applicable county in Ohio. A pull-down menu of all the counties in Ohio is provided. To find your county quickly, begin to type the name of the county and the system will provide a county matching the provided letters. Okay, gave me Ashland, and we'll put in 10 tons. It is important to mention that since I am working in Microsoft Teams, you may not be able to see me use the pull-down menu, or it may have a delayed effect. To add rows to your table, click the add symbol. To remove rows from your table, click on the minus symbol. The second table is called Total Quantity of Scrap Tires Picked Up in Other States. Use this table to report all scrap tires picked up from other states. A pull-down menu that lists all states that neighbor Ohio is provided, along with a couple of other states where scrap tires have been reported as picked up in the past. For states that are not identified by name, the pull-down menu allows Other to be selected. Once Other is selected, a field requiring the name of the state to be provided appears. Write in the name of the state. Like the previous table, to add a row, click on the add symbol. To remove rows from your table, click on the minus symbol. The third table is called Total Quantity of Scrap Tires Transferred to You. Use this table to report all scrap tires hauled to you by another registered scrap tire transporter. A pull-down menu of all registered scrap tire transporters in Ohio is provided. For transporters that hauled more than 10 scrap tires to you and that are not identified by name on the pull-down menu, identify them as Other Transporter. Other Transporter is located at the bottom of the pull-down menu. With this selection, a field is provided below Other Transporter that allows the name and address of the transporting business to be provided. Alrighty. Like the previous tables, to add rows to your table, click on the add symbol. To remove rows from your table, click on the minus symbol. Let's save the information that we put in. With that saved, we will advance to the next page, and you see that the line under the page number turned green. It is important to mention that if you have saved unwanted information in the survey and want to start from scratch, then you can click on the delete button at the bottom of the survey. When clicked, you will be taken to your workspace and your survey will turn from draft to new. Section G. Section G contains 3 tables where you quantify the whole or processed scrap tires that you delivered. The first table is called Total Quantity of Scrap Tires and Processed Scrap Tires Delivered to a Licensed Scrap Tire Facility in Ohio. Use this table to report all scrap tires hauled to licensed scrap tire facilities in Ohio. A pull-down menu of all the licensed scrap tire facilities in Ohio is provided. The second table is called Total Quantity of Scrap Tires and Processed Scrap Tires Delivered to a Registered Scrap Tire Transporter. Use this table to report all scrap tires that you haul to another registered scrap tire transporter. A pull-down menu of all registered scrap tire transporters in Ohio is provided. If you hauled more than 10 scrap tires to a transporter that is not identified by name in a pull-down menu, identify them as Other Transporter provided at the bottom of the pull-down menu. With this selection, a field is provided below Other Transporter that allows you to put in the name and address of the transporting business. In the third table, called Total Quantity of Scrap Tires and Processed Scrap Tires Delivered to a Facility Outside of Ohio, Used Tire Dealer or Beneficial Use, use this table to report all scrap tires hauled to authorized facilities outside of Ohio, used tire dealers in and outside of Ohio, and approved beneficial use sites in Ohio. The address of the out-of-state facility, used tire dealer, or beneficial use site will be provided in the first column. In the second column, a pull-down menu of all Ohio counties, neighboring states, other state, and other country is provided. So let's put in the address here. And we will select other country. And I took 10,350 tires there. Okay. Now, similar to the tables in section F, for the tables in section G, to add rows to your table, click on the add symbol. To remove rows from your table, click on the minus symbol. For tires delivered to out-of-state facilities listed in the table above, please indicate your estimate of the percent or units of measurement, such as in place in count, tons, or cubic feet, that went to landfills for disposal, to landfills for beneficial use, to recycling, to retreaders, and to used tire dealers. Recycling includes tire-derived fuel and beneficial use outside of a landfill. Please remember to use a percentage symbol or units of measurement in the field. So in our example, our tires went to Tom's landfill, but they went for beneficial use. We sent 10,350 tires. So I would either put tires, or I can just identify the percent of it that went out for beneficial use or for disposal. In this case, it was 100% beneficial use. Alrighty. Section H. Section H is the certification section. All fields must be completed to submit the annual report because they're all marked with red asterisks. So let me complete this. And I'm going to hit save. Okay. So it took me back to page 1 because I have an error on page 1. So let me go find my error on page 1. And in this case, my percentages still do not add up correctly. I will remove my information about the other tires. Now it's happy. And I will hit save. Once all required fields have been filled in, you will receive a screen that confirms all necessary fields have been completed and the response is ready to be submitted. At this point, you can decide to either save the survey as save as draft. Saving the survey as draft would be used if you're not, for example, done. You may want to check over your work or check some of the information that you put in. You're just not ready to submit yet. Saving as draft keeps your work, allows you to navigate away from the survey, and allows you to make changes later. Or you can mark complete. Save the survey as complete only when you are sure you're done with it. Marking the survey as complete will lock it, and you will not be able to make changes unless Ohio EPA unlocks the survey for you. Once you mark the annual report as completed, then it will be locked and submitted to Ohio EPA. So we're going to mark complete and click confirm. Success. The system will take you back to your workspace and the status will be identified as completed. You can go back into the survey and look over the information you submitted. All fields will be grayed out, but available for you to see. If you need the survey unlocked, you will have to reach out to Ohio EPA. There is an export feature in the annual report. The system will allow you to print off the report or save the report as a PDF in portrait or landscape format. You are allowed to do this anytime while filling out the annual report or once it has been completed and submitted. Okay, we've gone through the Scrap Tire Transporter Annual Report survey. Let's go to the Scrap Tire Facility Annual Report survey. Click on the arrow to the right of the Scrap Tire Facility. Oh, let me take you back to the member screen. Okay, we're home. Sorry about that. Let's go back to member. Here we go. Click on the arrow to the right of the Scrap Tire Facility member. This action takes you to the workspace where the Scrap Tire Facility Annual Report is located. To open the Annual Report survey, click on the New box. As you go through this survey, you will find that it requests the same information that has been historically required in a paper form of the Scrap Tire Facility Annual Report. Like the paper form, detailed instruction on how to complete each section of the Scrap Tire Facility Annual Report is provided in the body of the survey. I will go through the annual report, spending time focusing on providing general instructions and important points to aid you in navigating through each section of the electronic survey. In this process, I will cover how to save, delete, submit, and export the survey. The annual report is broken up into 3 pages that you will complete to submit the final report to Ohio EPA. On each page, there are fields marked with a red asterisk. These fields are required fields and will need to be filled out to be able to submit the survey to Ohio EPA. The first page includes sections A through D. Section A is reserved for future use by Ohio EPA. Section B, facility information. Taken from the information established with the creation of the facility, the system has pre-populated the name of the facility, street address, city, state, and zip code. As you can see, based on the fact that the fields are marked with a red asterisk, you must complete contact name, title, telephone, and email. Section C, preparer information. Since all fields are marked with a red asterisk, all fields must be completed by the applicant. Sorry, cheated a little bit. And it put in some information that was already in the system for me. Alrighty. Section D. In this section, you will identify all of the scrap tires transported to the facility by registered scrap tire transporters and the general public. In a table called Scrap Tires Received at the Scrap Tire Facility, you will report all scrap tires hauled to the facility by registered scrap tire transporters. A pull-down menu of all registered scrap tire transporters in Ohio is provided. Let me just mention again, I am working in Microsoft Teams, and sometimes you're not able to see my pull-down menu, or it's delayed in coming down so you can see it. For transporters that haul more than 10 scrap tires to your facility and that are not identified by name on the pull-down menu, identify them as other transporter provided at the bottom of the pull-down menu. With the selection, a field is provided below other transporter that allows the name and address of the transporting business to be provided. To add rows to your table, click on the add symbol. To remove rows from your table, click on the minus symbol. In the table called All Scrap Tires Delivered by the General Public, you report all scrap tires hauled to the facility by the general public. Based on the total scrap tires received from transporting companies and the general public provided in the tables above, enter the estimated amounts by percentage of each tire type received during the calendar year. The tires of scrap tires hauled must add up to 100%. If the percentages offered for the tire types do not add up to 100% or exceed 100%, then the system will give an error message. The form is designed to round values less than 0.5 to 0. It is recommended that whole numbers be used for percentages. For example, if semi-truck tires account for 1.4% of the total scrap tires hauled, either account for the semi-truck tires by using 1% or 2%. To not lose any of the information placed on this page, you must hit the Save function, which is always located at the bottom of the page. If you forget to save and click to the chosen page, I want to go to page 3. The system will ask you if you want to leave the site. It will also tell you at that time that changes you made may not be saved. If you click on Leave, you will advance to the chosen page but lose any information that you placed in the fields on the page. I'm going to click Cancel and I'm going to save my work. Okay. Now it's important to mention the colored line under a page number indicates the completeness of the page. A white line means that the page contains no information and has not been saved. A gold line indicates that the page has been saved with missing information, and a green line indicates that the page has been saved with all required fields completed. So we completed all the required information on page 1, and now we're on page 2. Section E. In this section, you will identify the total quantity of whole scrap tires, sidewalls, and processed scrap tires shipped out from your facility for the calendar year. For the table called Scrap Tires and Processed Scrap Tires Shipped Out from Scrap Tire Facility, you will report where all whole tires, sidewalls, and processed scrap tires are shipped out from your facility in the calendar year. To account for where the scrap tires are shipped out or disposed of, a pull-down menu containing all 14 categories of the whole and processed scrap tire material and uses are provided in column 1 of this table. Categories 13 and 14 can only be used by scrap tire monofills and monocells. Remember that when completing this table, the number count measurement is reported in passenger tire equivalents. Let's put a little information in. And now I'm going to add another one. Similar to the table in section D, to add rows to your table, click on the add symbol. To remove rows from your table, click on the minus symbol. Below this table, a tally of the total for scrap tires and processed scrap tires by number counts and passenger tire equivalents, weight, and volume is provided. This tally is derived from the table above and can be used to verify that the values were entered correctly. So here, these numbers look exactly the same as what was in the table. In the table called Only Whole Scrap Tires Shipped Out for Disposal or Processing from Scrap Tire Facility, you should only identify the transporters that hauled whole scrap tires from your facility that were categorized as whole scrap tires shipped out for disposal or processing in the previous table. So I do have a category from the previous table called whole scrap tires shipped out for disposal or processing. And so I'm going to identify the transporter that took those tires for my facility. I'm going to click on Other Transporter and list my transporter. Alrighty. Okay, success. Page 3. This is a new table that was placed in the facility annual report for mobile operations. Use this table to report all sites where whole or processed scrap tires are left or removed by mobile scrap tire recovery facilities or mobile equipment used by licensed scrap tire recovery facilities. Section F, final closure information. All fields that are provided to identify the facility's final closure contact person have to be completed. All right. Storage table. At the time that the annual report is completed, identify the amount of whole tires, rough shreds, or tire pieces like a sidewall or quarter tire, tire-derived fuel, tire-derived chip, chrome rubber, manufacturing byproducts, and other tire-derived material like molded products stored at the facility. Report measurable amounts by number counts in units of passenger tire equivalent, weight in tons, and or volume in cubic feet. Remember that passenger tire equivalent conversions are provided in Section E. Section H, certification. All fields in this section must be completed. Okay. Save as draft, confirm. Now you notice that I'm missing information, so I did receive a warning sign that is in yellow here, letting me know you have an error on this page, so you're not able to submit the report to Ohio EPA. And also my page turned yellow, which means I saved, but it's still not complete. So I'm going to go back to page 3, where the information is missing, and see what's missing up. My date. Okay. Oh, look at today. All right, success. Once all required fields have been filled in, you will receive a screen that confirms all necessary fields have been completed and the response is ready to be submitted. At this point, you can decide to either save as draft, save the survey as draft if you're not done with it. For instance, even though you have provided all information required to submit, do you need to check over your work? Saving as draft keeps your work, allows you to navigate away from the survey, and allows you to make changes later. Or you can click Mark Complete. Save the survey as complete only when you are sure you're done with it. Marking the survey as complete will lock it, and you will not be able to make changes unless Ohio EPA unlocks the survey for you. Once you mark the annual report as completed, then it will be locked and submitted to Ohio EPA. This action will take you back to your workspace, and the status of your survey will be identified as complete. So let's do that. Success. You can go back into the survey and look over the information you submitted. All fields will be grayed out, but available for you to see. If you need the survey unlocked, just reach out to Ohio EPA. There is an export feature. In the annual report, the system will allow you to print off the report or save the report as a PDF in portrait or landscape format. You're allowed to do this anytime while filling out the annual report or once it has been completed and submitted. All righty. So let's go to wrap up. When you want to return to your draft survey, look at the completed survey, or in the future, just review previous surveys. You will link to Retrac through its homepage. This address is www.re-trac.com. When you go to this page, you will log in. If you need assistance using the Retrac system, need a survey unlocked, or have annual report questions, please contact me at the following email address. To help you with this new system, for the entire month of January 2023, I have special hours from 10 a.m. to noon. I can be reached by phone or through email. Thank you for attending this training. I hope you found it helpful.